can go to Dollar Tree, right? For instance, right? We can go to Dollar Tree. We can get a microphone and we can get a circle light. You know what I mean? And you can plug your camera into your laptop and you can be doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And that's fair, but what game are you playing long? You know what I'm saying? I want something that people want to tune into visually. They dig it, hopefully. You know what I mean? And then audio got to be easy to listen to. That's the secret. That's where I double down, man, because, you know, I'm not ever going to look that good. But I will say, man, it's tricky. Bro, yeah, we'll talk offline, man, but I'm the king of the bargain basement. You know what I mean? Little things, man, like the SM58 mic. Yeah, it's about $100 for the mic, and that's not cheap necessarily. I get, once again, you get a $5 mic, but you're gonna love, as a comedian, you're gonna love the SM58. It's like, here, I'll take it out. It's you know what I mean? It's the AK-47 of microphones. It's the Fender Stratocaster of mics. In fact, I have another one down here, but
you got that thing on you.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the mic, right? And it's just anything else. Everybody's like, oh man, because they make SM58 podcast mics, right? But
right, the bigger round ones. I think that's what I have. I'm not 100% sure. I went with a kit that had a bunch of stuff in it, so that I didn't have to like go look for stuff. It was like $200 for everything or something like that. I don't know exactly what. Like I said, I'm as technological. I should be savvy wise with this stuff, dude. I feel like my father when I'm looking at it. Like, what is happening nowadays? How fast all this stuff has been moving.
Am I my dad on TikTok? What the hell?
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah.
I'm frightened, confused, and oddly aroused. I don't like that I'm aroused and confused and frightened all at the same time. I feel like your dad, I think, a lot. You know what I mean? So anyway, you're super cool, man. Me and my partner on my other show, his name is Protocol on Rumble. We were talking about how amazing this song is. Do you know the song Funky Reggae by Toots and the Maytals?
Well, I'd have to hear it.
This is okay. So this song came out in, I want to say like 72, maybe. So this is a 1972 style song, but it jams, man. And it's called Funky Reggae. So you better bring it. If you're bringing a song called Funky Reggae, you better be bringing it. So
the funkier, the better.
Can you hear that?
No. There it is. No. Go on. There it is. It's breaking up a little bit. You're muted now.
It muted me because it blew my shit out because it was loud to me. So anyway, Toots and the Maytals, Funky Kingston. I can do the screen share. I just haven't quite figured out yet how to do the audio share. So once again, man, it's a growth in progress. I'm breaking it down a little bit more with you because I think it'll be interesting. And there's a lot of cats on your level, you know what I mean, or on my level even, that you may have this or that, but, you know, you need to dial it in. You need to figure out stuff. And one of the, key, once again, I would say audio is the most important. Second is deciding what platform you're going to use. I use StreamYard. It's the easiest. I paid a little 25 or whatever bucks a month, and I can blast to my, like right now I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. And I could be on 2 different YouTube channels if I wanted. I could go all the way up to 5, right? So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, man, my next goal is to figure out how to share audio so I can play more music. that's like the next one. So anyway, dude. So talk to me about what got you started in comedy. How long have you been doing comedy? Oh, sorry. First, tell people how they can find you. Where can they find you? If I want to see Colt Lack in all his unadulterated glory, where do I do that?
You can find me on TikTok at Colt Lack Comedy. You can find me on Instagram at just Colt Lack. At Colt Lack, not just Colt Lack, but just at Colt Lack. You can also find me if you want to find my other I have another Instagram account called Spooky Dookie. That's just been my old Instagram. You can find me on YouTube at Lack of Discipline. That's going to be my podcast, but it's also going to be my clips and where I post full videos of my sets eventually. So that'll be great. And if you're right, the lack of discipline that podcast is, it's going to be basically it's basically just to talk about all. I'm going to have doctors on. I have dentists in my family that I'm going to talk to. I have a CDC researcher that's going to probably come on eventually. One of my cousins is a NASA researcher, so I've got some research. I have some actual, real, like, intelligent people that aren't just me and my friends smoking pot anymore. I have some great conversations.
Rogan made $100 million smoking pot with his buddies.
Hey, no, I'm not saying nothing against it at all. As I said, I mean, but you can find me on all of those platforms, and I'm very easily to reach. I have people reach out to me. I had my first real fan probably 2 months ago reach out to me and tell me that he watches my clips every day. And stuff like that was like, I was like, all right, bet. Like, I'm making someone laugh every morning. Like, that's what's up.
That is huge.
Yeah, no, dude, it took a bad day to a good day. Like one of those days where you're like, bro, this stuff sucks. Like, oh my god, like, and then like your phone goes off and you look at it, it's somebody you have no idea who they are, and they're just like hyping you up. Like that's the stuff I was like, yeah, that's why I want to do.
Juice.
Yeah, dude, for real. Yeah, but yeah, that's where you can find me. You can also find me at Reds every Thursday if you want to come see it live. If you're in the Enid area, I don't remember the address. Something on Pine, 902 Pine.
It's
I think
Club Red Enid, man. There's not any other. If you say Club Red Enid into your phone, you're good. All the information you need will be there. Thursday nights with our man, our brother, big brother in comedy, Joe Moffat. Shout out to Joe Moffat. We love you, Joe. So
the big boss of comedy for sure.
He's putting it together. Dana, who runs the place, is doing a great job. Speaking of that, you got a big show coming up Saturday. Is that correct?
Yeah, December 16th, Claws in the Scene. You got some big hitters coming up. Joe's going to kill. I know he's going to kill. I'm ready to see what he's got. He sent me a picture of his outfit, what he's going to wear, and I was like, oh, this is about to be crazy. So we're about to have a really good time. I haven't got to, I'm trying to remember the headliner's name now. God dang it.
That's all good. Point is, you're going to be there.
Yeah.
Joe's going to be there.
Yeah, Dalton Ty.
Dalton is going to be there.
Yeah.
So I know it's Ty, but I call him Dalton. What's he going to do?
His real name is Dalton. He goes by Ty since we were in high school. So yeah, and funny thing, me and him went to high school together.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
see, I want to get him, man, like, because both of y'all are running it, but like he's, you know what I mean, like he's on a path and you're on a path, and just I wanted to get you first out here because I think he's got a little more going on. You know what I'm saying? Like he's working with some folks, and I think he's really branding himself, which is awesome. I think it's important to do, but like he's working with the Copenhagen Bandit and folks like that, and I think they're great, and I think that's his zone. Hey man, look. I'm not going to shit on Jason Aldean for singing country music, right?
Yeah.
It may not be my cup of tea, but who am I to go, screw you? That's not ever. I support him, and I'm proud of him, man. You know what I mean? And that dude, he's had an interesting life, too. I want to get him on ASAP, and definitely going to be working with him next year. You know what I mean? But I figure my fan base is, fun stoner folk.
Yeah, Jeff from Family Guy or from American Dad type stuff.
So I really wanted to feature you and make sure that just people knew who you were and what you were doing. Man, you're growing so quick, especially for a guy in a small town. You know what I mean? That's a big deal.
It's blowing my mind, dude. Like this is like a dream since I was a kid. Like you asked earlier, why I got into comedy. My brother passed away when I was a little kid, and like those types of situations, when you're so young, you don't really know what's going on, and like you don't understand anything and that kind of stuff, and you don't understand like the feelings that you're feeling. And I watched Robin Williams, his special when he had the rainbow suspenders on, and he was standing up there. And I watched that special. And after watching it, and I probably understood a third of the jokes at the time because of my age, but I watched it and then I was like, wow, that is what I want to do. I want to make people laugh. I want them to forget about all that stuff that they brought in before they walked into the building, so that when they're walking out, all they're talking about is like, I cannot believe he just said that. Oh my god, like stuff they're talking about at dinner, like still later, like we're looking at each other across the table 2 weeks later, and they just say one word and they both get it and both crack up. Like that's my type of. Well, that's what I want to be. I'm not in it for the money, but I mean the money'd be great. Don't get me wrong. I would love to be doing Joe Rogan numbers and stuff like that. That's the big goal, is to try to get out to Austin and do something out there, because I had a chance to get on Hans Kim's show, but my wife was pregnant at the time, and she was needing me, so I had to leave before I got to go up. But I'm gonna get back down there and I'm gonna show them what's up. Hopefully, I just recently opened up for John Carden right before we met actually, and he was telling me that I should get down there, and then I should try to get some networking, go down there. So
yeah. In fact, a guest my last week's guest that we just had on, TJ, he's an awesome dude. And here's the thing: he has rooms, but it's also Dallas, right? And
yeah.
Well, I recommend it. It's a 5 hour for you. It's a 3 hour for me. And I know you'll do it because you love comedy. The only thing is, man, Dallas comedy is different. It's like battle comedy. You know what I mean? It's way more competitive. It's not as, it's different. It's more competitive, less backbiting. Okay. Is a difference between being in a social club and being like at the UFC. You know what I mean? Like, or training and, to go as a fighter, it's way more competitive, right? But you're not like, you don't hate the other guys. You need the other guy to give you the best when you're sparring. So when you get in that cage, you understand, right, what the best is.
Yeah.
So it's more like that, where it's almost a supportive level of sparring and fighting and that kind of thing, versus, a lot of towns, you know what I'm saying? Let's not, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, that's, what I really hate is when people text message me with stuff that has nothing to do with my show. And they're like, hey, wanted to ask you this, wanted to talk to you about that. And I'm like, hey, look, no offense, but if you're on my social media, clearly you see I'm live doing a podcast, especially with the man with the plan, Jeff from American Dad. Y'all. Do not bother. Do not text me about anything else, right? Don't message me. Don't text me. Don't mail me. Don't email me. Don't Gmail me. Don't carry your pigeon. Don't put a note on a pigeon and send it to my friend. I'm talking to Colt. I do 2 shows a week at the current. However, next week we're adding our little I'm doing my little Keeping Up with Them show. Speaking of that, excitingly enough, Damon Detroit, who came on my show like 3 times in the early and love him to death, and he's up in Detroit, but he's like blowing up now and able to really focus on his comedy. Just put his 2 week in at his day job last week, so because he's doing good. So we're gonna do a Keeping Up with Him. My man Kelvin Rayford, who, if he's listening, never got back to me today. Anyway, he just won, which in his defense, he just won a boxing match Saturday night against a dude trying to kill him. And then was back at work Monday morning, you know what I mean, for money for his kids. So, the fact that I'm not top of list, how dare he, right? So,
wow.
You call me back. I'm kidding. Especially to a man that could murder me. He's a wonderful dude. So, but anyway, gonna try to do him next week. But yeah, we're gonna do I want to do a little 30-minute one-on-one and kind of like this, but more of a fun, kind of a quick, hey, how you doing? Keeping up with them, and so like, maybe after, if I can't get him Wednesday after your show, although I think that might be like Christmas Eve or something. So I don't know. We'll probably take Christmas off, or I'll do like a best of, you know what I mean, kind of thing. So what's your Christmas plan? Sorry, I just went off there. I was mad because people won't leave me alone. Just tune in, hit like, share, and subscribe, bitch. What do you think?
Hit those buttons, man. I know.
For so long, for my wife gonna make me go get a job, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think I have one Christmas I'm going to this year. I don't do Christmas with my dad's side of the family just because they don't really include us that much. Like they don't. It's not that they don't reach out. It's like I guess it's our fault because we never used to go that much when I was younger. My dad would be like, next year. But I think we're gonna go to my mom's and do something with her side of the family. And that's probably about it. And spend the rest of our first Christmas with our newborn baby, probably by ourselves. So,
Well, hell
yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah.
If you want to come to Norman, we're kicking it. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, hell yeah.
I am boring AF, but if you want to hang around a boring guy, you could be my first in studio guest. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I got my little studio. I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm proud of it now, dude. I got my little
hell yeah.
studio set up, and then I'm gonna have the audio working one day. You know,
Yeah, off the bat, so it's not 8 minutes of us just going, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
so that's gonna be edited before it goes out.
I know.
Only for the lucky live people who care enough to actually tune in live have to suffer through that tomfoolery. Anyway, also, if you're listening live, feel free to drop in the chat. We're on PTPod Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube. You can go to the PTPod show on Instagram. I'll lead you there too. But really on Facebook, PTOKC, and on YouTube at PTPod. If you're wanting to chat, hit us up in the chat. Show us love. We show you love. Anyway, yeah, man. Christmas is usually pretty chill. I have a very small family, right? So it's going to be my wife, me, my mom, my stepdad, maybe one or two other people. We hang around mom and stepdad's place for, we'll probably be there early, probably be home by 3, 4. You know what I mean? Because you just get tired, like you don't do much. And man, I'm at the age. I'm not saying I'm getting old. I'm just at the age where they're like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "Can we get the touchscreen and the Ford Explorer to work? Like whatever that costs. I got a bald tire. Like that's Christmas to me, bro. You know what I mean? Like if I got a sweater and a bald tire, that's still stress. You know what I mean? If I have no sweater and a good tire, no stress. That's you get to a point in life where you don't want things, man. You want just to be able to live. You know what I mean? So
yeah, dude. Facts.
So yeah, you're gonna drop by, and then it's awesome though, man. It seems like you and your lady and your baby. What a great party! What a great party, man. So you're blessed, man. It's a blessing. You know what I mean, to have a good family, right?
Yeah, no, it's a very good blessing. I wouldn't be able to do any of this comedy stuff if it wasn't for her. So, like even before the kid, she was super, super supportive. She came to my very first show that I ever did.
Before the kid.
Yeah, we see, me and her met like 5 years prior to all of this, and she had a boyfriend. And like I was like, I'm not gonna be that guy, like who wants to do that? You know what I mean? Like ruin your chance with somebody just by like, oh yeah, you don't, so don't be like that. So I don't see her for like 5 years, 6 years, and then I actually got jumped at a party in Enid.
You got to tell that. You got jumped.
Well, I really don't remember everything that happened. I do know that I was inside telling jokes because I was right when I decided I wanted to be a comedian. And people were like, "Oh, tell me jokes." And you know how that goes when you're at a party. You're like, "Dude, am I wearing a little hat with a cup out? Like, like where's my little vest?" And but you've seen how socially I am. I have the gift of gab, so I was like, "All right, bet." So I just started like rattling off jokes that I had just written probably 4 days prior. And I had people laughing. When I walked outside to smoke a cigarette, next thing I know, I'm tumbling on the ground with two people. I have no idea. I literally, I have no idea. I remember looking up at them as they walked out the door. I remember looking back and like taking a drag out of my cigarette. And the next thing, we were just rolling. And I'm in the street. I woke up in the middle of the street, and nobody was near me. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, I came bumbling back into the house, and like, it was a whole disaster. Like, but I can't say any of that because I'd probably get in trouble for saying that shit. So, I don't even care. They were flyboys. I know they were flyboys. They were part of the Air Force, the ones who jumped me, because I had talked to them earlier in the night, and one of the kids told me his name, and I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." Like, what are you from? Where are you from, man? You're not from here. I know you're not from here. Like, this is Enid, small town. And he was like, "Oh, from Colorado." And I was like, "Why the hell are you here?" And he was like, "I'm a flyboy. I'm in the Air Force." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay." I said, "It's always either work or a woman that gets you stuck in this town." So, but yeah, no, that was really the only conversation I even had with those two dudes. Whenever because they were standing next to each other when I was talking to that guy, and they were both Air Force. But I wasn't gonna say it because when we tried to figure out like who they were and like to like whatever, they were being real like hush hush because graduation was right around the corner, and they knew once graduation happened, everybody gets shipped off to all the different Air Force bases around, and then they would be just lost in the mix. So that is what it is.
They're trying to get a little something. So anyway, so you meet her there.
I go to do comedy. Well, I don't have anybody down there to go with me, so I just like out of the blue messaged her and was like, "Hey, I'm going to do this comedy thing. Would you like to go? I know you used to be a comedian. Like, would you want to go?" And she was like, "Hell yeah!" So she comes. I do pretty good. I got a pretty good I bombed there at the very beginning. I bombed so bad because it was my first time on stage, and I'm sure you've had this happen where you start ranting a little bit, like you start going on a riff and you have no idea where it's going at all. And then plus they had told me at the Looney Bin it's a clean club. Like you were like you can't cuss, you can't do this, you can't do that until you're like a regular. Then you have a little bit more leniency. And I was like, man, I can't talk about cocaine and hookers. Like, damn, that's like my whole stuff. Like, what do you want me to do? But I bombed trying to do clean material, and then I was like, you know what, F this. You guys want to talk about drugs? And started like the crowd was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, let's do this. Like, so I got a great reaction out of that. And then I don't see her for like 3 weeks. I go down to see one of my buddies I went to high school with to do like he's a DJ out at La Fiesta. Yeah, not La Fiesta. That's a fucking restaurant here. It's
a party night.
Anyway, it's one of the nightclubs down there. Right there by Bricktown Comedy. God, I cannot. Anyway, he's a DJ there, so I go down there to see him and like hang out. Well, she ends up being at the club. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? So then we get to like talk a little bit, and then 3 weeks later we're together. So
yeah. You had time to kill it. You had low self-esteem. I get it. I like it.
Hey, man, funny wins. You can make them laugh. You can make them, you can make them stick around.
Right. They're like, ugh. They're like, men are impossible, but if he makes me laugh, at least some of the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta make her roll her eyes at least 3 times a day, and twice has to be laughing. So
I think with comedians, it's like, at least he's funny because the mood swings and the stress. He's like, this asshole's gonna go up on stage for 5 people and tell jokes, and if they don't laugh at his jokes, my 2 hours home is gonna be miserable. That's why I feel for comedy wives. You know what I'm saying? That's gotta be awful for them. Or you think this is funny? You remember that one part? Okay, so I said, why did the remember the cow jumped over the moon? Remember? And I got kind of a laugh, but then I was like, because the moon was wacky, and then they laughed even more. That really worked, huh, babe? You do that. Maybe not exactly like that, but you gotta be honest. Your wife suffers through that shit too. You know what I'm saying? So
every time I've bombed and been in the car with her on the way home, I just be like, we're not talking about that. Like, we're not gonna talk about it. Let's sing songs on the way home, babe.
It's like I've gotten to the point where I just get it off the chest, right? So I'm like, okay, I admit it, I bombed. Woo, that was a rough one, right? Like you get enough shows under your belt where like, and most of the time, like you don't bomb the whole time, like anymore. Most of the time I'm trying to fit something in that doesn't go or work some new material, and I lose them so hard that it's hard to get them back.
Oh yeah.
I have like that money closer that's gonna make you not hate me or think I suck, but that's it. You know what I mean? It's not like you had a great, I'm like, okay, I killed for 7 minutes. I ate it for 3, and I came back for the last 1. But all you remember really is me eating it for 3. So what are you gonna do? That's just the game. So
but that makes it if you want to be in this game or not. It's just you can't please everybody. It's just you could go into a room and say some. I have some like my opener that you heard me do whenever that was my very first joke I ever wrote, and I use it almost every time. Whatever. I have a set that's like 4 or 5 minutes that I've used, let's say probably 15 times, And at 15 out of or 12 out of the 15, I've gotten great responses. But those other three, you're like, wow, man, it's not me, it's the people. But then you got to remember, like, is it the people, or did you got to go back and like, did I fumble anywhere? Did I do anything differently? Did I say it differently? Was it my facial expression? Was it the voice I used to say it? What's different? You know what I mean? So it's just over analyzing your stuff so that you can get out there and kill again and take it as I'm competitive. You know what I mean? So all that is I'm trying to go back out and beat the last performance that I did. You know, and it's just part of it, man. You're gonna bomb. Everyone
Oh,
bombs.
absolutely.
Yeah. Everyone bombs. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure that there's someone who's like got a cream of the crop crowd. Did it one time. It was like that works for me. I'm good. You know, like. But I also.
I have a very cool story. Pretty successful comedian out in Hawaii, a guy named James Mane. I highly recommend everybody look him up. We would say Maine, Mane here, but it's actually pronounced Mane. He's Samoan. Really cool guy. And in fact, on his podcast, he was just saying, because I like to say I discovered he had done like 2 shows before me and he kind of quit doing comedy. And I was like, why'd you quit, bro? I think you're funny. And he's like, oh, man, because I bombed one time. I was like, how many? He was like 2, maybe 3. I was like, and you bombed. I was like, dude, consider yourself lucky. Some people, you know, we eat it for a year. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, dude.
We eat it for a year before we even start to figure out how to ride the bike. Oh, ate it for a year. And also, man, I think a lot of that also can have to do with what you're trying to get out of it, right? Because you have so many different, you know, it's like music, but everybody expects comedy to be one note. And it's as versatile as music. You know, like you said, Robin Williams encouraged you and made you happy and made you want to do it. And that's exactly kind of where you go with your style in your own way. But I see that influence, right? For me, Chris Rock and Martin Lawrence were the biggest.
Nobody ever remembers how freaking strong Martin Lawrence was.
Dude, that show was required watching I think Tuesday night or Thursday night. But yeah. And in fact, I'll tell you a story that I don't know if I've ever told this on air ever about comedy and what made me, you know, like you look back and you don't realize at the time. But I remember I was raised by my mom, single mom. We were very, very poor, right? And you know, it was moving from a 1-bedroom apartment to a 1-bedroom duplex was a big deal. Moving from that to a single wide trailer was a big deal, right? So now, you know, Gucci sweater now, doing better now, but you know, not rich, you know, still working hard, but they're, you know, doing better now. But I remember my stepdad. But anyway, I remember it was just one of those nights. She was an exhausted, working 2 jobs, single mom. And there's just me, no brothers or sisters. And I remember she was like, oh, mashed potatoes and meatloaf again, or whatever she was cooking. And she wasn't happy. I could just tell she was bummed. And I remember I went into Martin. I don't know. I had to be maybe 10, 11 years old, 9 to 10. I don't remember exactly. I want to say it was like 9 or 10 years old, but I remember just doing Martin. And I was like, oh my God, these mashed potatoes are so delicious, mama. They don't open here. You better put more on this plate. And I remember just going off and I remember making her laugh. And I remember really making her laugh. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, we can get through anything. Because, you know, at that time, my mom was my world, you know, and I didn't have brothers, sisters, no father, no real close uncles or anything. I had one close uncle and he, you know, was murdered because, you know, lucky me. So at the time, you know, at this time, so went on. But at that time didn't have a lot. And I remember being able to make my mom laugh in that hard time and make her happy. I was like, oh man, this is a superpower. You know what I mean? I can help people in some really sad places and I can make them smile or laugh. And that's a superpower. And it is, right? So, but I can tell you, Chris Rock, Martin Lawrence, Carlin, of course, more so than I'd like to admit. And I screwed my career up trying to be like Bill Hicks. I do not recommend it. For all you comics out there, do not try to be like Bill Hicks. No.
That's why I'm afraid with that bit that I have that I call it my Carlin bit. the cold-hearted person with a lover's mentality one, the fast-paced one. That I call that my calling bit because of his. I'm uploading, downloading, because that's what the pace I was trying to go at. And then one day I was doing it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm trying so hard to sound like him. Like I need to stop and try to make it my thing, and slow down and really really soak in the laughter and let people laugh at it instead of just blazing through it." But yeah, no, Carlin, freaking, I wish Sam Kinison was still alive, man.
Oh, yeah.
If Kinison would have gone a little bit long, can you imagine him today with people? Oh, I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry, Snowflake. Just.
I don't think he'd have a job today. I do not.
Yeah, no. Hey, I'd watch him. I'd blast that in my car right there, dude.
I'm surprised he never came. I mean, Andrew Dice Clay got lucky. He was the last one. Dice was the last rock star comedian who got to say the kind of stuff you're not allowed to say anymore. And it was early enough in that time where he was able to fade, and the people who would have been really upset and try to attack him, like he made his money and retired. And and they weren't born yet or too young to know. So to me, he was the last one to really get away with being that guy, where even guys like us look at it, we're like, damn, like you cannot get away with that.
I myself am not afraid to get canceled. So
okay. Look, wait. Yes, no, okay.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like I've already said this to my friends and them. I was like, I'm happy where I'm at. This doesn't work out. So if I don't get canceled, it's gonna be okay anyway. So what's up?
Dude, I know how to work UPS. I come home to a beautiful family. No one talks shit about the weed I want to smoke. So I'm good. All right. You know what I mean? My pops wants to be on my podcast. I'm living life. As long as Club Red keeps having an open mic, I'm unfuckable with. I'm saying? No, I'm with you. Okay, and I'm not saying I fear being dude.
Oh, no, I know you don't. That's why I was like hyped for this, because I know we had to sit when we had that conversation before the show the other in the city. I really was like, all right, I already liked you, but I can feel that we're on a wavelength. Like you understand. There's a difference between talking to somebody who's really about comedy, like you, or talking to somebody who's not about comedy, and they're like, well, you can't joke about that. Yes, you can. You can joke about everything. I joke about my brother being dead. It's not, people are like, how can you say that? I don't mean it. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm sure he's looking up at me right now from hell going, he's not hell.
Yeah, and maybe humor is a way I cope. You know what I mean? Maybe humor is a way that I work through stuff or wrap my head around this stuff, because I'll be honest, man, the wisest, deepest cats who ever lived said, I don't get this at all. You know what I mean? The Buddha, Jesus is like, this is not the thing. Trust. We're bringing you a different thing, or we're showing you that there is a path to a better thing. But none of those guys, make no mistake, said it was an easy path. None of those guys said, yeah, no, my alternate path to everything around you is totally cool and easy, and you'll be able to wrap your head around it better than you can wrap your head. No, it's about purpose. It's about, to me, drive. What's in your soul? Problem with us broken cats is we got to say it. Like I was telling, I think it was TJ the other day or someone was like, man, I envy the cats that can go to work on a construction line, right? A post office cat like you, but you got to get it out too. But I envy the cats that can go to a job they hate every day, 20 years, 9 hours a day, not say a word. You know what I mean? Squirrel their nuts, turn around, and when they're 60, retire, have 5 acres, you know what I mean? A beautiful home, go hunting for the, next 10, 15 years of their life, and fishing, and you know what I mean? Jamming with their buddies. I respect and envy those dudes. And I'm at a point in life where I realize that has passed me by. Like, it's for better or worse, that's not who I am. It's not who I can be. That's not what's happening. And that's okay, man. I'm blessed as well. So you're right, bro. But yeah, man, I envy cats that can do that to a certain. I don't understand, but I envy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't get it either, man. I wouldn't want to. If I was doing that, like just going to work, being quiet, just being happy, and I've considered it. I considered not doing this anymore. Whenever my wife was about to have her kid, I was like, or her kid, our kid. uh, but I considered stepping away from this and trying to just be a dad and do all that kind of stuff. But I want to better myself. I feel like if I'm not, if you're giving up, in my opinion, if you just accept it, you know what I mean? Like people tell me I'm narcissistic a little bit when I say this, but I know I'm here for a better reason than just to go to work and work a freaking 9 to 5 and make some other billionaire $1 billion in another year. Like it's just it sickens me to know that yes, I'm getting my pockets lined, but man, is that other guy's pockets so much deeper. Like I want my pockets to go down to my knees, man. I want them to be deep. I don't want to be pitching into. I got a couple dollars, man. Here, So, but yeah, I I couldn't settle. I couldn't do it. I'm like you. I couldn't. I am right now, but I'm out chasing something to make it where I don't have to do that. I want to be able to be home when my daughter's growing, and if we decide to have another kid, I want to be able to. And I know, like if you do this comedy stuff, you're on the road quite a bit. But if you're doing it good enough and you've got your schedule set down right, you can be home for your kids and do things like you need to. So just takes planning, takes perseverance, takes getting this stuff going. It takes not giving up. Like I'm saying, just don't fall into that 9 to 5 hole that everybody, like my dad tells me, like, you got a good job. Why are you? Oh, I got a good job, but I'm going to live. I want to live right. I want to be happy. I want it's that you were talking earlier about the jokes or whatever. I hope people realize that if we keep taking things a little too serious, like they have been, we're gonna lose laughter, and then they're really gonna see just how dark the world is. It's gonna get real gray out here if we can't laugh at stuff. Part of that rainbow you're seeing in the sky is because there's somebody laughing at the end of it, probably. Like you got to be able to see the bright side on this stuff. Always.
Absolutely, and a couple of things there too. One, humor is probably the most subversive form of art because it's the only form of art that when you laugh, it goes into your brain in different ways. The information when you're laughing coming into your brain is associated with dopamine, right? And we are all just a bunch of dopamine. That's what humans are. We chase the D, dog. It's just what it is. Some of us figure out healthier ways to do that. Like, my dopamine release, what makes me feel really good is coming home at the end of a hard day and having people there and they're eating and enjoying the electricity and they're clean because of the work I put in, and they love and support me back and gives me the energy and effort to be the artist or communicator, comedian I want to be, right? So, or you can be like, that immediate dopamine, which, it's something we all fight. You know what I'm saying? From a candy bar to sitting around shooting junk in your vein all day. It's all about, immediate dopamine, and it kind of hinders you. So, but hey, man, I'm no better than anyone else. I'm a recovering alcoholic on purpose, right? You're never an accidental. So like, oh, I'm accidentally sober, and I was drunk for years, like without a break. Like literally, I was drunk 4 years. Now I'm sober. Weird. No, that's on purpose. You did that.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how when you give up alcohol and people are like, "Oh, he's drunk," and you're like, "I'm not drunk. That's just who I am."
Everybody's like, "Oh, you must be on coke." People think you're on coke. I'm like, maybe here. No, because you don't know a real cocaine addict. First of all, you just can't handle energy. And then two, it's like, okay, but go to New York and go to LA and go be around any person who's made a few $1 million promoting, pushing, marketing, and being an entertainer all at the same time. They are balls of energy. They are all balls of the best agents, the best managers, the best attorney, balls of energy. They get stuff done. My right now people are running for president, right? And the people that are getting the most attention, that are getting the most respect, are the ones working the hardest. And it's just that simple. Whether you approve or dislike or like, the ones that are working the hardest, that are doing the best, that are staying focused, even though they might be dealing with some real BS. That's my other show. But anyway, my other show is very political. So this is not that. This is light and fun. And we talk comedy and we talk life. But Sunday nights, Rumble on Rumble, me and Pro 2 call. In fact, he's a black Proud Boy. So if you know what a Proud Boy is, he's one of those. And he's a black gentleman. And he actually would have been on the Capitol steps on J6 if his daughter wasn't born like J5th. So he was like on his way there and his daughter was born. Sunday night, we're going to do a deep dive. Like, I'm going to take 2 full hours and just rap with him about his opinion on it. I want to start, October, you know what I mean? 19 and go, okay, how does it feel? What happened? And then go November and start kind of, you know what I mean? And that's like the prologue, and then boom, election night, because that's clearly what kicked everything off there. So, you know what I mean? And I would like to, just get a real inside opinion from someone who no one has tried to reach out to. No one in media has tried to reach out to. And that is just an aside. Sorry, I don't know how we got off on that, but staying positive is the key, man. That's the point of it all. So you decided that you want to do comedy. You say you've been doing it about 2 years?
Yeah, it's just under about 2 years. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say I'm like 3 months shy. I think February was my first show. If I'm being God, my memory sucks.
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't. Yeah. It matters, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? How good you are, right?
Well, my first show, like I said, I got a really good reaction for that story I was telling you, dude. And I don't know if this is for you, if this happens to everybody or not, but when you get a good reaction like that, for like even when you've been bombing and stuff, and you get that rush, you're like, oh, whoa, like, dude, I was doing so bad and I saved it. Whoa, dopamine kill. I feel like you're chasing that. And even when you get a good reaction from people in a room, if it wasn't as good as that reaction, you still feel like you didn't do as good.
Right.
I would say that's something that you feel too, because I've been like, damn, I'm chasing something. And even when I'm getting good laughs and everyone's like, dang, you did so good tonight, I'm like, all right, I did all right. I didn't get what I was looking for, but that'll come in time.
It's chasing the dragon, man. It's if you know people that like play golf or go shooting or hunting, and they talk about that one magical day. Yeah. And then you get another one. The cool thing is I don't know if it's cool, but man, you get to a point where it's work, and not in a bad way, but you get to a point where you're like, oh, I'm doing 200, 300 shows this year. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I promise you by the 180th or 250th show, you're like, all right, go hit your marks. It's almost like more actors talk about that, but I'm going in, I'm hitting my marks. I know the reaction I'm going to get. I know my big laughs. I know my small laughs. I know I pause and ask the audience something. They're going to respond in this way, right? So off of that response that I'm betting that they're going to do, I'm going to hit this joke based on that. Da-da-da-da. But you have your great nights too, man. You have your great nights.
Well, and there's a huge difference for a show that people like when you're doing a show and people come to a show that they paid for, or even if it's just like an actual comedy show, they come to laugh. They're ready to laugh. An open mic, people are coming. They're like, all right, show me what you got, and they're looking at you like you're crazy kind of, and you're just like, okay, yeah, it's an open mic, but still have an open mind. Like, be ready to laugh if it's funny. You don't have to be like, I don't like the way you said it. It's like my dad did that one time. When I took him to Bricktown Comedy, and this guy said something about Oklahoma. He's from Arkansas. My dad said out loud, audibly, out loud, crossed his arms and said, "Not funny." I said, "Shut up!" I was like, "You're not ever coming back with me again, dude." I think this is why people go, I'm never doing a show again. I'm never doing an open mic. Like, what if that was that guy's first time ever on stage? My dad would have ruined it for him.
That is hilarious, man. Not funny.
Not funny. No, not. Just
be like, who made you the judge? Like, I appreciate the fact that you didn't find that funny, but like,
yeah, say it under your breath to yourself. Don't say it out loud where everybody can hear you in a room that's kind of quiet still. Guy hadn't even finished his joke yet.
A Guns N' Roses concert, and when Slash missed the pick, be like, not accurate, Slash. That chord was not accurate. It's like, you can't do what he does. That's why you pay the money and sit there. And I'm on the stage, right? I appreciate your opinion, bro, but come on.
Yeah.
I like that. Anyway, I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. And that's something to watch out for, man. I suffered from this early on as I hit so many mics and I did such crappy little rooms without working pacing and that kind of thing, that when I started going to the clubs or getting the big shows, I was moving way too quick. I didn't understand the different ball game. You have to be more punch you in the face comedy for the smaller rooms and the open mics, and you have to drag the laugh. It's like, no, motherfucker, you're laughing whether you like it or not, right? Whereas when they pay money and they come to laugh, you can relax more. And if you're not relaxed, they're like, why are you I'm giving you, you know what I mean? Just give me funny. Don't fucking have to reach, get over here. You don't have to rip the laugh out of my soul, bro. And it's like, but I've had to for the last 2 years, every gig I did. So it's about learning that too, learning to relax. It was kind of cool. Like, you didn't see me do stand up when you did the gig in OKC. I was just because I know it was probably my last gig of the year, unless I hit, like I might come up to Enid, maybe next week. But I knew it was my last gig of the year officially, and I was just wanting to talk it out. I was like, okay, my job is not to be funny. I don't want to go through material. I've got one bit that I've been working that keeps growing and working. So that bit, like, I'm going to work on. Other than that, I want to do a completely different thing, man. You know what I mean? I just want to kind of throw away. I feel like everything I have this year was transitional. It was because I hadn't done comedy for a while. And then last year, I got into working with some cats on doing some stuff. They ended up being shady. You know who they are. I'm not going to say their name, but I'm also never going to show them love, and we'll go into it later. But if you listen to last week's podcast, that guy has worked with them too, and said it straight up, and he's like, yeah, that's who they are. So, but anyway, shady cats. We'll talk offline if you want to know. However, I did get back into doing comedy with them, and I got the bug. And one of the issues was I could go up there and play any role, and they didn't like that, because they're still struggling to find who they are, I think, or they're just not that good. I don't know. Not ever a worry with me. I want the funniest people around me. You know what I mean? I want the best fighters around me in the gym. I want people that are strong on stage, right? So anyway, it got me back into it a little bit. And then we started booking. And then I had kind of forgot all the connections I had. In that the people that you get love and you support over the years are like, dude, you're back doing stand-up. Let's go. So lucky to do that. So all my material last year, save for like one bit, is kind of transitional. It's not anything I'm attached to or that I'm in love with. And even though it's kind of funny, it's like I've got one joke that I love, and I also love telling it, and it's a pretty good one as far as structure. But I'll give it to somebody. I'm like, please take this joke and do it. You know what I mean? This is my comedy. Eat it on my behalf. Drink on my behalf. Do ye in the name of Michael C. Hall and PTPod and the podcast. I'm just trying to make everybody mad. Anyway, man. But yeah, you know how it is, dude. So, like, how much time do you have right now? Like, if somebody said, I need all the time you got, what would you say?
Dude, I'm not doing anything. My wife's got the kid right now, so.
No, I mean, no. I mean,
how about you look for the night?
An hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours.
I would have to say a solid flowing set that would work. I could probably throw together about 20 minutes and make it work solid and make it flow and have everything go together. I have probably about an hour and a half worth of material that I still need to throw at the chalkboard that I haven't even brought up at the open mic at Joe's place yet, because there's other stuff that I felt had priority over all that stuff. Like, I have a lot of jokes that, like, talk about my sister that I kind of opened me. We were talking makeup a little bit before I started saying some of these, so I don't need her scrolling through TikTok and being like, oh, all right, yeah, I'm a Weebles Wobble, huh? No, yeah, but yeah, I probably have about an hour and a half worth of material that needs solid work. Um, I probably have 20
You
minutes
have
solid.
30.
You know, said 20, 30 minutes solid. I have some stuff that probably needs like three words, word here, word there, just to kind of give it punction, like a punch here and there. That would make those jokes complete. So I mean, yeah, you're probably right. Probably about 30 minutes of solid stuff that I can do. I went through after our show in the city. I went through a really long writer's block moment. We didn't do Christmas as a kid after my brother passed away. So like trying to do Christmas material for this show coming up has been just the worst time for me. You know, like I've gotten some. I've got probably a good 6 minute set now. I have 5 minutes, so I got to bring it back just a little bit. Um, but it took me until from our show in the city, or the show in the city, till probably yesterday or the day before when I finally started. I was like, oh, whoa, boom, 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 boom. Wrote literally like a 5 or 6 minute set. Sent it to Joe, and the guys was like, I just wrote this. What do you think? And they all were like, all right, like that's pretty good. And I was like, wow, I guess I work good under pressure. Just,
All right, most of my stuff that way. Yeah, no, a lot of
time.
Me and a buddy were talking about how we write a lot of our stuff in the car 30 minutes before the show. Like, oh, I gotta push myself to try something new. Also, crowd work is a good way to try. You got to be careful with that, especially when you're working professionally and that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I tend to say things that like I call it a gift and a curse. I can look at you and tell you what you don't like about you, and it gets me in trouble from time to time. Like, like I have a story. I was working at UP. I was driving and I delivered to this Love's out here, and I blocked this guy in for a split second. Literally, just walk in the door, drop the package to the front, and I'm back out to my truck. Well, he's taking pictures of my truck, like as I'm coming back out, and I'm like, "What's up, dude? You blocked me in. You blocked me in. You mother." They're like, "I gotta be at work." He's calling me all these names, call me a fat ass, like over and over and over again. I'm like, "All right, man,
well,
whatever."
To be fair, Colt.
Well, no, he's right. I am, but don't say it. Don't say it.
So I'm like, working, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I start to pull off and drive away, and this guy is chasing my truck, calling me a fat ass, and I was like, ooh. What? What did you say to me? And as soon as he starts talking again, I go, why don't you shut your mouth, you meth mouth, no tooth having. Why don't you go back to hogging all 4 teeth to yourself, get back in your car before I put you back in your car? You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, it's just like and then I was like, oh man, I can't believe I just did that. I'm in uniform. Like, oh no, like, I'm about to get in trouble. So I walked back into Love's, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I know you guys heard me. I'm very loud, so I know you heard every bit of that. And these guys were dying laughing. They were like, that was the funniest thing we have ever seen. Oh my God. I'm a hero at that Love's now. They love me. Yeah. I walk in, and the lady at the College Junior in there goes, are you eating today? And they will make my food for free and give it to me before I walk out the door as I make my deliveries. I'm like, that's what's up. I love them. They're the best. They'll probably be at the show on the 16th.
Hell yeah.
yeah. No, they're some of my biggest fans. Like anytime I walk in there, they're like, Mr. Comedian. I'm like, all right, hell yeah, guys.
Okay, so you were telling me you were having some issues writing Christmas material.
Yeah.
So my question is, have you done the weed Christmas tree, like smoking weed, Christmassy? I would go with. How much time do you can do 8 minutes on? That's a stretch. I would say about 4, maybe. And I know you got another 10 solid. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't really think about the whole weed and the Christmas tree type thing. That's actually that's weird for me that I didn't even think about that because that's really all my life. After high school, literally that was my entire life. So it's weird that. No, I did, and I'm not using this one, but I did come up with one that was Christmas as a child was completely different for me. My dad never walked through the front door with a big bag that was red with presents in it but he damn sure used to come to the door with a bag of Coke in it, like, oh, let's do blow, let's do blow, let's do blow. You know, like,
It's a white Christmas in my house every year.
yeah, all right, you got any more than presents or anything? Like, just
why are you using that? That's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah, no, I want that was supposed to lead into some more Christmas carols that I was writing, but it was during that writer's block, like that I just could not get anything. I even like messaged Joe with those, and was like, he was like, so Feliz Navidad. I was trying to write Felipe has no dad, and trying to, you know what I mean? Like I was trying to do something like that, but I just could not get anything flowing right. Like when he does the Prospero y Años is Feliz Navidad or whatever, I could not find anything to flow with that. So I was like, this is just gonna have to wait. You know, like I can't waste all my time on this 2.5 minutes of this set and not have anything else to say or do for the rest of it, and then have to just pull out old jokes like, oh, you guys know my brother's dead? Just like, it's a hard sell at Christmas.
Hell yeah. What you drinking there, dog?
Actually, Red Diamond Sweet Tea. I don't like it anymore, dude. I think they use artificial sugars now.
Yeah, man, I'm all about that HTO.
I like real sugar when it comes to sweet tea.
You got to try HTO. I think they have them. I know they have them here because there's one in Norman in Oklahoma City. It's just HTO, and it's a tea shop, but they use like real sugar and so their stuff. It's a little too sweet. Like to me, it's like get the unsweet and the sweet and half it, and it's perfect. But then like it's so sweet. Like in the morning, if you don't have time for coffee, before you can like get to your spot, it's so like Shazam. You can drink it in the morning. And this is from a guy who drinks strong coffee. So.
Oh yeah, I drink coffee that the label says "Wake your neighbor." So yeah, I'm serious.
If my coffee was a band, it would be AC/DC.
Yeah.
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. So anyway, which is such a comedian thing, you know what I mean? So
man, normally this would be an Arnold Palmer, dude. I love drinking half sweet tea, half lemonades. I don't know why that.
Lemonade guy, I can't. I wish I was. I like lemon. I just don't like lemonade. I don't know. There's something about it. It's missing something. I don't know. I've been on to seltzer waters lately, like energy seltzer waters, and you know.
All right.
You know. Right. I'm classy, bro. I don't know what to tell.
I like some seltzer water from time to time. It's the bubbly.
But you know, if you think about it real fast, man, being a stoner at Christmas is they kind of set it up for you. You know what I mean? Because it's little trees, big trees, and little Debbie edible trees. So yeah. I mean, like, dude, these are the bomb. I wish I had them all year. Anyway, whatever you want to take, because I'm not working on Christmas. So, like I said, I'm done for the year. Trying to do this trying to figure out how to do a basic podcast, which clearly is a bit more than my ability right now. But hey,
there's a reason Joe Rogan has a Jamie. So
I'm just saying, man, if Corky can win a race, life will go on. See, you don't get that joke at all because you're too young. So
Corky?
There
Say that again.
What was the name of that show? I forgot the name of the show. Hold on. There was a show about a Down syndrome kid named Corky.
Oh, hold on. Tell me why I only know what you're talking about because you said the Down syndrome kid. Hold on.
Let me ask Google. Hold on. What show was Corky the Down syndrome kid on? ? Life goes on. Life goes on. Boom in the chat too. Tonight's been a bit of a shit show, and I am so sorry, Colt. I'm gonna bring you back when shit is together and tighter, and we'll have a killer show. And the thing is, I'm going way long. Normally, I try not to keep you more than say 45, 50 minutes, and we're over an hour because I just want to give you something good. But you know how it is, man. You know what I mean? It's like when you come too fast, but you stay in because it's a little hard. It's just, and you're really trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you heard me say I just had a kid, dude. Premature is something I do. Okay, so.
Yeah, you know how it is, man. Like 10 minutes later, they're like, "I appreciate the effort, but we can stop." You know,
don't worry, it's okay. This happens. No, it doesn't. Okay.
I totally haven't finished yet, but yeah, but you're not even inside. We're just bumping uglies at this point.
Like, oh, what do you mean you're gonna stay over?
Anyway, I think that's a good place to end. Plus, it's 111, 3 1s. That's good shit. All right, my brother, thank you so much for coming on.
No, I appreciate you for having me.
Club Red, Enid, Oklahoma. Get your tickets now. It's called, what is it? Ho Ho for the Holidays, I think?
No, it's Clausing a scene.
Clausing, Santa Claus in the scene, y'all. Joe Moffat is going to be in the building. You're going to be in the building. Ty Dizzle, Pac Money, Ty Dalton Pacman is going to be in the building. There's going to be like 3-4 other comedians. It's a cavalcade of comedian, comedy, awesomeness. Shout out to Dana Nowhere, the man who produces it all, makes it happen. And shout out to Joe, the man who runs it all, takes care of y'all, keeps you good. So, you know, when the folks pay the money and come out, he's got beasts like you guys. He's your trainer, you know, in the gym. He's straight up your trainer. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, man. We're going to do this again when shit's better and together. Thank you for your patience. We love you.
Love you guys, dude. I appreciate you having me on. Anytime you want to do this, you just let me know. Even if it's you just want me to pop in, say some crazy shit, and pop out, I don't care.
Let's see, your show is the 16th, right? And
yes,
then how about we just go ahead? This will be the first one. I love you so much. Let's just look at the calendar now. Hold on. My calendar. Hold on, I gotta press the talk button. My calendar. Sorry, it's a thing. Let's see here. So next Wednesday is what?
20.
21st?
Yeah, I don't remember if Christmas on the weekend this year?
Let's see here. December. Hold on.
I should know this because of my job.
December. Christmas is on Monday.
Oh, it is. It's the 20th. The 20th.
Damn, that's awful. Like, that's bad for P. You prefer it to be on like a Thursday or a Friday, so you know what I'm saying? I guess you still get a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, we'll get Monday off, so.
Today is Tuesday the 12th. So it'll be Wednesday the 20th. What are you doing Wednesday the 20th?
Nothing. Not after work. Every day, unless I have that mic to do, I just come home and be with the family. So,
so let's say next week, Wednesday the 20th, because we started. I apologize to everyone. I don't know if I did this. I'm sorry, man. I need to respect your time more. If I say 8, I'm usually very solid on that. Today was just kind of screwed up. I apologize. I had people waiting to listen to you. And, they were like, what's going on, too? So I apologize. Shout out to my man, Josh. He has some stuff he's dealing with. Get well soon, my brother. He was down, but he was having a problem, too. So we're going to pick this back up. Next Tuesday, we're going to be in the studio at Peak Nutrition. We're going to have the Virtue Jiu-Jitsu trainers. Going to be exciting to have them in studio. Then next Wednesday night, boom, we're coming back with Colt. We're going to have some fun. We'll figure out what's going on there. But everything is going to be better, tighter, more fun, I promise. Fair enough?
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate it.
Brother. We love you, man. Thank you so much. Please send the wife. She's an amazing young lady. What she's doing with you, I have no idea. But
hey, man, funny wins, man. I'm telling you. If you can make them laugh.
I like how you're like, no, man, let me say, no, it wasn't like I got her pregnant, after we being together, and now we were together, dog, okay? I had game before then.
Yeah, dude.
Chose to have a child with me, okay?
Yeah, I got her back on solids, man, so.
That's what I was waiting for. Now we can end this podcast. Guys, like, share, subscribe. Support my man this Saturday night, Club Red Enid. And tomorrow night, I'm going to have a brief one with Damon Detroit. And then Sunday is the Rumble on Rumble with Pro 2 Call. We love you, pod people. Thank you for everything. We will see you tomorrow and next week. Good night.